Hernandez, Environmental Studies, 4th year. Raza College Day is an outreach event. So what that means is the whole purpose of it is to reach out to the community members or anyone we want and bring them here and give them awareness and tools to achieve higher education. Our event specifically, the target has usually been what's called at risk or at promise youth from the Tri-County area. So that's anything from up in SLO all the way down to Ventura. We've had some Los Angeles schools come. But yeah, a lot of people come. Usually it's an event where over 400 students or participants come. It's open to parents, middle schoolers, and high schoolers. And we provide educational workshops, which is the administration, the financial aid people come in and give them workshops on how to apply for financial aid. Also, how to go A through G requirements, because a lot of the times some schools don't give these information and tools to their students to achieve anything after high school. And then also information for transfer students. And then we have empowering workshops, which is very related to culture and identities and just being proud of who you are. Because it's accessible, we have to make sure that we provide transportation, food, obviously the facilities, which is the rooms that are here, and all these things, the communication as well. So we want to make sure we have all those things. So for transportation, it's charter buses or just school buses. For food, usually figuring out which place can cater for us. And then the facilities, just making sure that we have Campbell Hall. So it's usually between 27,000 to 32,000, depends on how many people are bringing. I think our lowest has been probably 20,000. But it's just a lot because of the facilities. It's a lot to pay for the Campbell Hall and the other halls that we use. The buses take up a lot of that amount, and so does the food. Usually finance, you never stop. So the moment school starts, we're already meeting to make sure that we know our budget, and then we're starting to go present, and then training kind of the newer people on how to handle the money and when to get certain checks or reimbursement forms. The issue is sometimes we don't always have the time to go and ask or request, or the specific entities also don't receive that much funding, so they can only give us a certain amount. For instance, Queer Commission, as much as they really want to support us, they are only limited because they only receive a limited amount of funding, so they could probably give us max $200.
Do you believe it would be helpful with a lock-in fee that guaranteed the full funding of student outreach organizations that would eliminate the need to present to various orgs for funding? Would it be helpful?
Wow. I think it would be very helpful. It's just, yeah, it would be very, very helpful, at least. Even if it's not a lot, it'd be a good little cushion that we don't have to worry about.
What kind of support would you, as a student activist, like to receive from the UC institution and administration?
Definitely more money. More money and maybe more use of their power and maybe making presentations at these events, kind of showing us that they care about these events.
How do you think student outreach organizations contribute to UCSB being recognized as an HSI?
We know that all these events, not just at Congreso, but other orgs also bring in a lot of students of color, and each year you can tell by the evaluations, there's more people coming in from those groups that we've outreached to. There's just more, that number is increasing. So obviously us reaching out to these groups and letting them know they can be comfortable here is a big increase on that, and letting the UC be an HSI.
Do you think student outreach organizations or student activists deserve more recognition and more support from institutions?
I think so, because we're doing the jobs of what people normally do and get paid for, but we're students and we're doing this just because we feel that's what our heart wants. We want to see our own people here succeeding as well.
My name is Ricardo. I am in 4th year and I'm a double major in Chicanic Studies and Cultural Anthropology. The name of the organization that I'm involved with is called Congreso de UCSB. Their purpose is, I like to say, is to shake up the system a little bit, challenging, hegemonic powers and being critical about our own spaces, and also creating a welcoming space for our own communities. And
Goal.
the goal of the organization, to raise social, political awareness, not only on campus, to do outreach to our local communities, especially marginalized communities, communities of color, to kind of build a bridge between the high school students from those communities and the university space, to make sure that they recognize that they belong in these institutions. So Raza College Day it's part of one of the main goals of Congreso, and it goes back to being able to connect with the youth of our communities and to show them that they belong in academia, to somehow make them feel empowered. The last one was about 400 to 500, somewhere, I think maybe like 450 students showed up. So in terms of how many hours, like I wish I could track it, but I shit you not, it feels like it's like a job, but not a job in a sense,
A job
but like
away from your real job.
enough, like, yeah, I probably clock in like somewhere to 30 to 40 hours doing this kind of stuff, like organizing, meeting with people, talking to people, and just being involved. Well, I think the money is there, and I know that the university has resources. I think the problem is where they make it incredibly difficult for our communities to actually access these resources. Case, we need these resources, and I think a lot of the times the institution makes it incredibly difficult. They throw the book at us. They want to make sure that we're not defrauding them.
Do you know what HSI stands for?
Yeah, Hispanic Serving Institute.
Do you believe that UCSB lives up to being recognized as an HSI?
Well, I mean, no, I would say no. I mean, the only reason I would even consider it is because, I guess, compared to other UCs, their percentage is better. But I mean, does it really matter if the institution doesn't really reflect it? Like, the student body may, but what about the curriculum? What about like the resources, the programmings, and what's going on campus, and like that's not reflective of that. So what if it's a HSI if it's not really serving these communities?